Hey, how you doing? What you doing? I be in the break room. I be in the break room. 214, bet I'm in the break room. 214. How you doing? What you doing? Hey, what we doing? I be in the break room. I be in the break room. 214, bet I'm in the break room. 214.
Big Bing's Break Room Podcast, another Wednesday, another day that we blessed to see. What's going on? It's your man, Big Bink. Let me just talk about how crazy this week has been. You know, not to mention the pandemic that we going through, quarantining, sheltering in place. Not to mention everybody kind of ignoring the whole shelter in place thing with all these cities opening back up. We got a long road ahead. And check this out. The two biggest diseases, I'm gonna call them diseases because that's what they are, that we fighting right now is COVID-19 and racism. We dealing with so much unjust racial tension, blatant racism in the country right now. From Breonna Taylor in Louisville to Ahmaud Arbery out there in Georgia. Yesterday, George Floyd, fellow Texan. We're going to hop into that later on. But those are the two biggest diseases in the world right now. Let me ask you this. Have you heard about, well, let me tell you one of the positives of the pandemic that I can talk about being a DJ. The resurgence of music, the resurgence of DJs, the ability to take music and connect everybody by playing one song, two songs, creating the mood, being blessed to be in radio for like 20 years, and my journey continues to go on. But I applaud all the DJs, all the people who tuned in to all the lives and everybody who tuned in to, my boy D Nice set and Jazzy Jeff and our own TDK sets and my sets and just sets around the country. Because this is what we need right now. We need something that we can latch on to and everybody can relate to music. Now, coming up, I'm hearing that IG and Facebook ain't playing no games with this music. Now, sometimes you go good in the mix and, you got your followers, you in the thousands, and Facebook just cut you off. I'm hearing that's going to be coming more sooner on a regular basis. That's what I'm hearing. I don't have all the details, but we're going to be really up in that next week to find out how that's going to happen. Because, look, if Mark Zuckerberg, if you're listening, the IG people, man, let us have something during the pandemic. Music keeps people calm. Can we have that? You know what I'm saying? If this is the route you're going, record companies are making money, and I know they're the ones complaining, but they're making money. Artists are being rediscovered because us DJs are playing the music. I can go on and on about this, you know that. But let me tell you something. Shouts out to all the artists that's continuing to thrive during this pandemic. When ain't nobody spending a lot of money, when ain't nobody really going nowhere, when ain't nobody going to concerts, but there are some artists who continue to make a way to be relevant. And on the show today, we just going to open up the show today with one of my little big bros. Now, I've been knowing him almost 9-10 years, and I've watched this boy grow. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about from BET nominations to movie roles to what you might know him specifically if you watch The Chi on Showtime, which is one of the best shows that's out today. Might know him as Emmett. You might know him from his music. But right now, he's been thriving throughout the pandemic. Let me bring my executive producer, Shani, on. Shani.
Hey.
Good morning. Oh, good morning. I'm tripping.
Good
afternoon.
morning.
How you doing?
Good morning, Big Bink. How are you?
Good. Hey, just real quick. Can you just speak on real quick about how music has pretty much revived this pandemic that we're going through?
Now, one thing that you did say that I did have a question about with Facebook and Instagram. So They're going to start cutting us off for playing the music?
This is what I'm hearing. I don't have all the details yet. That's why I didn't go all the way in. But I'm hearing it's a problem if you DJ and usually they cut you off.
Mm-hmm.
It depends. If you play so much of a song, especially if you play Beyonce, you can forget it. They're gonna cut that off. You play Prince, Jay-Z,
Yeah.
they're gonna cut that off quick. However, I'm hearing that they're working on something that is really gonna affect all the DJs and all this love we've been getting. But my thing is have been profiting. Their catalogs are being bought. Record companies are making money. Like, why don't y'all sit down and let us have this while we're going through this?
No. They're not gonna do that.
Here we go.
I mean, it's been that way. But this is my question. If you pay for I don't understand why ASCAP, BMI haven't put in place a way that you can pay the royalties. So like we have an internet radio station. I can pay the royalties and be able to play whoever's music, and it's okay. And they categorize it for each thing. So if I'm a terrestrial radio station, my price is different than that of the person that has an internet radio station. So I think what they should do is put something in place for DJs.
They should, and they just need to leave us alone.
Yeah, and something small, because it's not like y'all are making a lot of money off of this now. Right now, how many people then call you to come DJ at they backyard barbecue?
Absolutely none.
How many people calling you to come DJ at the club? You gonna be at GG's this week? It's
zero.
Yeah, so it's not happening. So I think that they should do something, put something in place, because that is definitely an art form, and it's an art form that a lot of people enjoy. I mean, just when I'm cleaning up the house, I'll go to YouTube sometimes, find a DJ, and just let his track, whatever track he's put up there, play. And then you get to a certain song, and all of a sudden it's silent because of copyright problems, and then the music comes back in.
Yeah, they cut it off. But let me tell you something, man. Like I say, artists have been thriving through the pandemic. And my big little homie, Jacob Latimore, you might know him as an R&B singer. You might know him from The Shy. You might have seen some of the many movies that he's been in. He is a standard. He's a testimony that you still can thrive while conditions are not normal. I mean, this dude got the #1 R&B album on iTunes right now. Let me bring him on. Jacob Latimore, ladies and gentlemen, my little big
yes.
Bro. What's up? What's going on?
How you doing, man? How you doing, baby?
Man. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling all kind of ways right now. I'm happy. I'm happy. I bought a house and put out my album in the same week. But I'm also just seeing, so much crazy things happening in the world, and it just seems like it's never getting better. You know what I mean? So it's I'm feeling all type of ways, man.
Man, it's a beautiful thing. I've seen you grow. I mean, we were talking off air earlier, man. I remember when you came to my radio station in Dallas, and I think it was a Scream tour with you and Marcus and them and Mindless Behavior. And I was like, this little dude right here is going to be somebody. And to watch you grow to where you are now in your early 20s, I mean, it's just a testimony. And let's keep it funky, in an R&B lane that used to be heavily populated, but it ain't really heavily populated now. You know what I'm saying? And people like yourself are continuing to thrive. So let me ask you, man, Mindless Behavior, what have these last 2 months been like for you, man, as far as this pandemic, man? Like, what are some of the things that you've learned and some of the things that just kind of been going through, with this pandemic? How have you been coping?
Honestly, man, it's I'm really just trying to keep a routine on my day. I took a walk through the neighborhood today. I try to read as much as I can. I try to meditate, pray. Honestly, man, I really just try to take focus off just really trying to be productive, I guess. I really just, I feel like, when I'm so used to working, it's hard to relax. You know what I'm saying? So I try to find that time to just really just enjoy my peace, my me time, and really not make things too complicated. You know what I mean? I've always been a homebody anyway, so the quarantine wasn't really that bad for me.
So have you been traveling, or you just been staying at the crib?
I was in LA for about a month. and a
Mm-hmm.
half, and then I came back home to Atlanta. So not too much traveling, just L.A., Atlanta.
Wow. Let's talk about the album, man. C3, number one album on the iTunes R&B chart, man.
Yeah.
First of all, let me ask you this. This is a rhetorical question, but how did you do it, bro?
I really don't know, man. I was definitely not expecting, to be number one. I feel like I'm still in this stage of or in this stage again of sort of grinding and um, redistributing my music out to the world again. You know what I mean? When you come in the game so young, and you kind of go away for a while, or people thought you went away for a while because, social media made everything so saturated that
Right.
your music could get lost in the shuffle. You know what I mean? Of just so much content.
True.
So a lot of people are just getting hip to the music that I put out 4 years ago. You know what I mean? So the internet has to catch up with a lot of things, and it just takes time. And for me, it's just about you know doing what makes me happy, and I'm just happy that a lot of people are respecting the music. I feel like it's hard to be able to be an actor and succeed in music. You know what I mean? It's been done a few times, but everybody can't do it. And to do both at like an elite level is I'm just extremely grateful for this life that I have.
Well, I've been watching the album grow. Your management team been killing it. It's everywhere. You look great in the video. Like
Thank you.
Shawnee, we need to bring Shawnee in because Shawnee got some questions. Shawnee
Yeah.
wanted to make sure.
Yes. Shawnee is the mom.
Hey,
Jacob, congratulations. Well, first of all, congratulations on buying a house. That is
thank you.
nice to
Yeah,
know
that's
that a
big.
young man went
That's
and
big.
bought a house and
Thank you.
not a Lambo. Okay, congratulations there.
Thank you.
I see a little gold chain, so we know you didn't go out and buy a big one.
Yeah,
So
yeah. It's
congratulations.
just,
Oh, but
it's
oh,
just,
he had to throw that watch up.
it's a little,
Man,
Okay.
hold up.
it's a little Movado. It's probably, it's on the spectrum. It's a lot cheaper than the Rolex and all that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're keeping it together. Congratulations. So I did have a question because Bink and I took some time out and we listened to some of your songs.
Hmm.
And of course, I'm the mom. I have two daughters that adore you. They love you. They're
Oh.
10 and 11. So they're too young for you. So don't worry about that. But I did, because in having little girls that I'm raising and they're starting to have boyfriends. So
Right.
yes, at 10 and 11, there's little
Well, they
boys
they
that
growing up
call.
on you fast then.
Yeah. And so, but these kids listen to your music. So when we have parties, the kids come over and they're listening to your songs
That's
and,
awesome.
some of your peers' songs.
That's
Your
what's up.
lyrics are so much different than the songs that we listened to when we went to the Sadie Hawkins dance. I'm giving my age away, or the sock hop, right, Bink? You know all about that. So, is, is this how your generation? Is this how y'all court each other by saying, "Hey, I want you"? You just raw with it. Just come
Yeah.
on here and give it to me.
Keep it real. Keep
Uh,
No.
it real.
the other words, is this how y'all court? Because I'm trying to understand this with my kids, so I'm
You know
not
what?
being too
Even
hard on the little boys.
even for myself, I think I was even shocked. I went to this circus in Chicago, and there was a lot of young black toddlers there, right? And they were playing all this kiddie music, right? And you could tell their energy was down. The baby came on, the kids came to life, like,
So
and they were screaming the lyrics. Like I was like, oh my god,
Yeah.
like, and they cuss and they saying whatever they want to say. You got parents like, hey, no, you can't be saying that, but they just like so excited for this music, and it's just like I don't know. So I try to keep my music as clean as possible, but I also just try to be real too. It's just like, I'm 23. I love women, and sometimes the music the
We
music
know.
get the
Yeah, I
music
know
yeah,
get
you
what
gotta do what
love.
you
part of the
gotta
woman.
do.
Yes, we know what part of the woman you like too. Mhm.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, little bro.
Kria's joined us. Kria's a part of the show as well as part of Big Things Break Room. She is
Hey,
our resident esthetician. She keeps us all beautiful, our skin glowing.
that's what's up.
Say hello to Jacob Latimore.
Hey, hey. I try to I
I
try to I try to keep my skin all right.
I was actually there, Bink, when him, Honest Behavior, and then were here. Like back at was it Grand Prairie?
No, that was that was Nokia. I think it was
That's
Nokia
No
back
kidding.
then.
Nokia.
Yep.
Yeah.
In
Yeah,
Texas,
that's what
in
I
Grand
do.
Prairie, Texas.
I
Yeah.
had my son up on my shoulders like,
Oh,
yeah.
that's dope. That's fire. That's
Yeah, and it's
way
funny
dope.
that you mentioned that about the circus because the thing in my house right now, my girls are on the Megan the Stallion and
Oh,
Beyonce remix of Savage. Like they've made so many dances, and my
Yeah.
little daughter is, Carly, skinny, bending
Mm-hmm.
over, sticking her butt out, putting her legs, like when she put the jeans on and stuff. And I'm like,
Ah,
at least you're dealing with
okay.
that. I gotta deal with NLE Chopper. Okay, walk them down, all this other crazy stuff. That's what I'm dealing with right now. 13
yeah.
year
I feel like this just that's just where we is. It's definitely gotten raunchier. It's definitely gotten more raw with the lyrics, and it's just I feel like it's becoming more normal. For the younger generation.
So I got a question for you, Jacob. At one point in life, do you plan on like having a family and having
Yeah.
kids? So would you be okay when it's reversed? And
Um.
listen, I'm only
No, I
asking
wouldn't.
you questions that people asked me when I was 23. Because don't
No,
be
for
no
sure. I
more.
feel like no, I definitely won't. But it's also with the way technology is set up, the way when you got to send your kids off to school, it's just it's only so much control you can have
right.
over your child. So I feel like in the midst of all this craziness going on in the world, you got to just try to you gotta expose some things to them, and I think in the one-on-one time, like, hey, this is what's out here. If
Mhm.
you get into this, these are the consequences, you know, and like your kids gonna have to make choices, and you have to
Mhm.
you want to encourage the right ones early on, but at the end of the day, it's a scary process. I think about that too. Like, man, like having kids in this world is just kind of spooky right now when kids are dying, they're killing each other, it's just like, do you even want to have kids? You know what I mean?
I
It's
like
Mhm.
how
tough.
you answered that because basically what you're saying, and
He is
everybody
season one.
listen, is be a parent. Teach your
Yeah.
kids.
Yep.
Teach your kids what's what.
Yeah.
Now, now you started out as an actor, right?
Uh-huh.
And your mom is your manager.
Well, no,
His mom.
I started out in music, but acting came real early on.
Okay. So which one do you like better? You like acting or do you like performing? You like acting behind the camera or getting that vibe and the energy from the crowd live?
I would say the energy of seeing a great movie that I worked on matches up with the level of like going on tour. Sometimes, um, every once in a while we get those scripts that we just really, really love, and we just can't wait to like film it and be a part of it. Like Detroit was like one of those scripts that I was like, I cannot wait to see this
Look at
movie.
me.
You know what I mean? So,
Mhm.
That was a good movie.
seeing that feeling was equal to me going in front of a crowd of however many people. So, I I feel like acting came a little later, but I feel like the love is the same because to be to be elite and to be well seasoned and to be extremely professional and be versatile in both, you gotta dedicate yourself equally to both. You know what I mean? To just
No doubt.
film is a whole nother ball game because it's levels to this acting thing. Like when you look at certain roles, like you just like, how did they do that? And what kind of person are they in real life?
I'm glad you said that. First of all, in case you're just tuning in, this is Big Bink's Break Room Podcast. Special guest today, my little big homie Jacob Latimore. Let's talk about acting because you have one of the most dominant roles in The Shy, which is on
Mhm.
Showtime. And when does it come back on? Season 3 is when?
Season 3 is June 21st. June 21st.
June
Break it.
21st is coming up.
Yep,
Now,
coming up.
let's talk about Emmett. First of all, let me say this. I'm from Chicago. I'm from the South Side. So when y'all took that taco truck to Thule Park,
Mhm.
dude, that's where I grew up.
That's hard.
That was my neighborhood. I'm like these dudes right under the viaduct over around the crib.
That's
You know
what's
what I'm
up.
saying? So people from the crib know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I
But
think I
Yeah.
think overall we just wanted to connect with the people. I think we wanted to connect with the city first, and then I feel like the
uh-huh.
world was just going jump on board as well because like Chicago, there's different urban neighborhoods across the country, across the world, that can
Absolutely.
relate to some
Absolutely.
those same situations and those same aesthetics, really, of just being out in the park, water balloons, pool parties, or food
Block
trucks,
parties.
sneakers,
Mm-hmm.
drugs, women, everything, artists, and making comedy out of our pain. You know what I mean? I feel like we always find ways to do that eventually. And we just wanted to relate on that level. And it wasn't until The Shy I feel like my career really changed. Even though I had uh uh maybe somewhat bigger projects I was a part of, like Collateral Beauty or Maze Runner. But it's
Mm-hmm.
something about impact that I feel like is so much more important than box office numbers. So The
No,
Shy has really been like that stamp.
it's an excellent show. Now without giving too much away, because y'all pretty much y'all through filming season 3, right?
Yeah, we finished. We finished a long time ago, so we were able to finish season 3 without no quarantine,
Without
no
the pandemic effect. Oh, great.
coronavirus,
Now,
scares.
now, Candy, one of my homegirls too, and she told me that
Yeah.
she will have a recurring role on The
Hmm.
Shy. That's dope for her. But I want to talk about Emmett. So it's been a little shakeup in the lineup. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Of the cast. So how does that affect Emmett's character? Now, before you answer that, we know Emmett loves sneakers. We know Emmett got them baby mamas that he got to please. We know Emmett got to make that money, and
Yeah.
we know Emmett still work or about to take over the chicken shop. So this season 3, how does that affect your character, man?
He
We
made
just
it.
we're gonna see Emma's growth. You know what I mean? And we also gonna just see uh some stuff that he's just still dealing with on a personal man level. You know what I mean? Like he just is certain things he just not responsible with still, and we're gonna see him just go through those obstacles still. And but overall, I feel like the show, I would say season 3 almost feels like a year or two later after
Okay.
season 2. So it's like
Okay.
some time has went by. The kids are grown. The kids are a little older now. They allowed me to keep my facial hair this time, so everybody
Okay.
looks more mature. They look good. The show is even shot a little more creative than the past 2 seasons, in my opinion. Like there's these really big wonders. So like, I believe episode 7 will be like each scene will be one long take, no cuts. You know what I mean? So we
Can't
had
wait.
to rehearse those scenes. We had to rehearse 4 or 5 pages, a lot. And if the camera's doing this choreography, so if somebody messes up, we gotta go all the way back to page 1 and start again. So we did those takes like 30
Oh,
times. We
wow.
almost shot
I
it
didn't
like
know.
a play. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
right.
Wow.
So it's I feel like the way we shot it is gonna be way more intriguing, and it's gonna be like a whole new highlight. And I feel like the pressure was on to push that envelope even further. And honestly, even though some people are missing throughout the show, I feel like the show still feels like this ensemble. I feel like everybody still has these equal amount of scenes, and
Right.
I know people thought of Brandon as the lead, and he was a strong lead, but I didn't
Uh-huh.
feel like there was a real lead. I feel like you kind of just chose the stories that you were most intrigued with. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
yeah, I just I hope they really take to it. Lala's really dope in it. Candy's amazing. Luke James is in it. We got oh man, I'm thinking of so many names. We got a lot of people. We got a lot of people on this season. Some really dope guest stars, some musical guest stars. So I'm geeked. I'm geeked.
Yeah, man, it's probably the best thing. It will be the best thing on TV this summer. Shout out to Comment, one of my homeboys too from the crib, man. Do
Yeah,
we see his character? Do we see his character some more in season 3?
yeah, we will, we will. Yep. I'm just trying to make sure I remember because everybody films on different days, so I'm like
Uh
I'm trying to make sure I'm getting the seasons mixed up with the other ones. But yeah,
huh.
uh-huh.
Oh, that's what's up, man. So look, man. Before we let you go, we Midwest boys. You from Milwaukee? I'm from
Hmm.
Chicago, but we had this problem in Minnesota. And I opened up the show talking about it. It's two diseases in the world. It's racism and it's this COVID we going through.
Mm-hmm.
Question one, Jacob, were you able to see the video of the guy George Floyd getting killed in Minnesota? Were you able
I
to see
watched the
that?
whole video.
How now, for a young little bro, your perspective will speak millions to people that follow you, that look at this podcast. What words do you have to say to people, man? Because there needs to be, from big artists like yourself, just a narrative for your peers to follow, man. Because I think it's about to get crazy, man. But what are your thoughts, man, on what you saw and how it made you feel?
Honestly, man, every time we step out the house, it's like a risk we take. You know what I mean? So, for me, it's just about me just keeping my family really close and just keeping my prayer over my family. I feel like, it's hard to celebrate, my personal things when I can see somebody just lost their brother or their father, or it's tough. I really don't know what to say, man, and I feel like, and I had to I was kind of mad at myself, like, why I don't have nothing to think about, like, why don't I have nothing to say? And it's
Yeah,
just, it's what can we do? You know what I mean? Well, this has been going on for years. You know what I
years.
mean? This is
Yes,
going
sir.
on for years. It's almost like, will it ever stop? Are we fighting a battle that will never end? You know what I mean? Or like, we just gotta, do we kill every cop? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, I
seeing
feel
so
you.
many different emotions, and rage. But I also just scrolled on Instagram Memorial Day weekend. You know, everybody, it was 9 people killed in Chicago, black on
Yeah,
black crime. So,
yeah,
we got a lot of things to talk about. Can we keep that same energy when we kill each other too?
absolutely.
You know what I'm
Now, see,
saying? And it's just too many questions.
absolutely.
It's too many emotions for one human being to even have the answers for. The only thing you can do is protect yourself, protect your family, and strap up. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
You
And
know, I
and
and
I
that's
don't
what it's
I
come
really
down to.
I don't like driving at night. I don't like my girl driving at night. I don't like my
Yes,
mama
sir.
driving at night, even though
Yeah,
they doing it in broad daylight. But I rather just I like to make my trips throughout the day and get back to the crib. I don't go out that much.
right.
Um, it's I don't know what to say, man. I would just say that, feel how you feel.
Yeah,
That's what I would
yeah.
say.
It's gonna get worse. It's gonna get worse.
Yeah.
Um, Look, man, I wanna thank you for taking the time to hop on the Break Room podcast. Our main man Action Jackson just checked in. He right underneath
Hey,
you. I
what's
don't know if
going
you see
on?
him. That's our main man
I see
Action
you.
Jackson. And
What up?
What's going on?
hey, how do people catch you on social media, man?
Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, everything at Jacob Latimore.
All right, look, #1 album on iTunes and the R&B charts. Go get this man album C3. And real quick, what the Connection 3 album? What does that mean? What does that mean?
Connection started out for me just to really reconnect with fans that I felt like I was sort of just rebranding myself. When I come in the
No
game
doubt,
so
because I remember the
young,
first one was Connection too.
yeah, connection. It was 3 connections, so 1, 2, and 3, and I put all of the connection albums on the last project. So, I feel like
Dope.
it's still growing, obviously, and my I got a strong fan base who really support all the music, and I wanted to put it on there just because I wanted the music to keep spreading. I feel like I
No
released a
doubt.
lot of great songs not too long ago, just 2-3 years ago, that are still new to a lot of people. So,
Absolutely.
man, I just
16,
wanted to keep
right?
that. Yeah, I had to redistribute it out there. They got to hear that. We worked hard on that. You know
Absolutely.
what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So,
Shoot.
Yeah.
he
so
grown now. He grown now.
yeah, so when people saw 35 songs, they like 35 songs. Jacob Latimore, like, who he think he is? You know what I'm saying? But my response is, I think I'm the guy. I think I'm the man. You know what I'm saying?
hey,
So
hey,
yeah,
you got the break room. You got the Big Bink's break room stamp. You better believe that, boy. I'm
I
telling you,
appreciate it.
man.
You need
Uh,
hey, you need Viagra when you get that album. Because it's 35 songs. You need
Look, see,
Viagra. All right, so put that on, get some Viagra, because 35 songs you gonna be going for a while. I'll tell you that right now.
Why you had to say all that?
3 rounds.
See, you tell
He said 3 rounds. So pick up the album, Connection 3, iTunes, Spotify, wherever you buy music, you can pick up the album, right, Jacob?
Absolutely, it's everywhere.
And June 21st,
Yep.
season 3 of The Shy. If you haven't watched it, go watch it right now, 1 and 2, so you can get ready for 3. Hey, boy, it's glad to reconnect. Shut. You said what?
I'm just kidding.
It's glad to reconnect, man. Good seeing you again. You got an open door policy on this podcast, bro. We love you, man, and I appreciate you, boy.
Thank you, man. Love y'all.
All good. It's all good, man. Jacob Latimore, gentlemen. Jacob Latimore checking in on the break room.